Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show this evening. Tonight's guest, we have Donald D.C. Barlow, formerly incarcerated individuals. He's been home for a while, and this is another success story. We want to bring on success stories because we had a time where we were just bringing people home from prison, but we want to bring on success stories after a period of time being back into society. So we want to bring on Mr. Barlow. Mr. Barlow, thank you and welcome to the show.
Thank you for inviting me and having me. It's certainly an honor.
It's a pleasure. We want to let society know, the community know who you are.
My name again, Donald D.C. Barlow, commonly referred to in the Bay Area as D.C. Okay. I'm a returning citizen from the criminal justice system. I was formerly incarcerated for 26 and a half years on a life sentence, and I've since been home and off parole successfully, gainfully employed, community activism, and giving back and participating in things to help enlighten and expand awareness of other returning citizens coming back into the fold.
Okay. Now, I want to ask you a few questions because this is what this program is about. It's about asking questions and let our community know that who we once were, who we became while incarcerated, the metamorphosis that we went through, and coming home and being part of society, our community, and doing the things that we're doing. So you went to prison for what, Mr. Barlow?
I went to prison for second degree 187, second degree murder.
Okay.
Back in 1983.
Okay, you were sentenced out of what county?
Out of San Diego County.
San Diego County. Okay, and you went to the reception center of Chino, I believe.
At that time, it was Chino, yes, correctional facility.
Okay, and you went from the Chino to what?
From Chino, I landed in Old Folsom State Prison in 1984.
Okay, okay.
Right.
And you stayed there for a period of time?
I stayed there for a period of time, a year and a half, and got sent to the SHU program there and got transferred from the SHU and ended up in Soledad Central Facility.
Okay, okay. Now we want to ask the question because this is something that people want to know. In your incarceration, at what time during your incarceration did a light come on that you had to do something different?
I would say it was a period of maybe anywhere from 6 to 7 years where somewhat of a focus was beginning to develop in my head.
Right.
It still wasn't quite pinpointed, but remnants of it started, making me question certain things, my activities, my purpose.
Right. Yeah, now I know because going through the system, we have a tendency of doing things that we regret later on in life because going into the system, you go into a system that you're not familiar with. Everything is foreign. So you got to hurry up and grow up and be part of whatever it is to just to survive.
Yeah, to acclimate.
Yeah. So at a period of time, a light comes on, and you say, wait a minute, let me start doing something different because sooner or later I may go home. Let me start working to better myself because going in front of that board of prison terms, see, they ain't gonna look at these write-ups and the different things that I'm going through at my coming into the system. They want to see what I've improved in, what I've done to better myself. So you started doing things different to get on the right foot, so to speak.
Yes.
To get out of prison.
Right. Well, one of the things I discovered that sort of evaded me when I was younger, prior to going to prison, was my need to be mentally nourished. And so that came around 6, 7 years into my incarceration. I mean, at some point prior to that, I was always feeding it, but I didn't understand the purpose, the structure of it. So within about 6, 7 years, I started realizing, even though I wasn't quite transformed yet, but I still had the desire to learn, to read, to be inquisitive, to question older people that have been around. And so that part of my character sort of moved me along a lot quicker than maybe it would some other people. It takes a little longer to find themselves. And that's when I started slightly getting involved in activities to sort of like enhance my awareness and growth. So it was just getting involved, and I noticed I had a need to just be involved in stuff that can teach me something, bring something to better my awareness, you know. So I started getting involved in stuff like Toastmasters and, you know, different programs, because I just felt better doing that, even though I was still doing other things you shouldn't have been doing in my younger days. But I found myself doing more things to give me that structure that I needed.
Right. So you programs, you started attending programs.
Yes.
What type of programs did you attend?
Everything from getting into night school, college, like I said, Toastmasters International, that taught me the art of public speaking. You know, I started getting involved with programs like SEP, you know, Student Education for Productivity, and it varied, depends on the institution I was at.
Right, okay.
So, you know, as you might be aware of, certain institutions also, everyone had their own format and what they offered.
Right.
So Soledad was actually Old Folsom State Prison, when we wasn't on lockdown. I'd take a class here and there, but that could be dicey because during the time of my stay there was a lot going on in terms of a race war, you know, between African Americans, Latinos, etc. So things was dicey, but Soledad was my full inception into the college program.
Okay.
You know, and that's when I started realizing I had a knack for reading, writing, doing research. I discovered I was good at writing.
Right.
You know, and and then that propelled me into other arenas that people see my skill at that. So, you know, just getting involved in different workshops, self-help type curriculum and programs, you know, which pushed me into the, you know, different Man Alive programs, you know, learning all about anger management. So the more I learned, the more it opened up opportunities, you know, and, you know, meeting folks that was like, well, you'll be good at this, you know, won't you get certified in this, you know, but it also taught me a lot.
Sure.
I mean, that's when I first learned about self-esteem, was through a self-esteem pilot program. You know, prior to that, I didn't have a clue what self-esteem was.
Right.
And then I started associating that with what I was lacking, and things started making sense. So it was a process, you know, that took quite a while, but every component was like a piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
Everything I got involved in sort of completed what I needed to know in order to give me that firm foundation. Is like, oh, you know, I brought into a whole bag of misconceptions growing up. You know, I started understanding what a true value system was. And everything has a value system.
Right, exactly.
Whether it's negative or positive, but what we choose to associate with. So, you know, and that's when your light started coming on, as you said. You know, wow, man, I brought into a system that wasn't designed for me to be successful, no matter how you looked at it, how you counted the material gains from what you was doing. It was not designed to have you at the end be successful.
That's right. You know, I tell people all the time that going into the system is not designed for you to succeed. You know, it's designed for you to hold you for a period of time, and it's up to you to click on the light. You see, so when you start seeing things that you need to put in your tool bag, so to speak, you start adding stuff to your tool bag.
Absolutely.
You start building, because the light comes on, sooner or later I'm gonna go home. I don't know when, but sooner or later I'm gonna go home.
And then what am I gonna be prepared to do when I get home? If you doing advanced thinking, or as we said today, critical thinking.
Exactly.
Right.
So those kind of things that we have to work and build and put in our bag and come home and be part of the society, because everybody in prison, sooner or later they're gonna come home one way or
another.
You know what I mean? you know, so if you come home upright, we don't want you to come home the same way you went in.
Exactly.
We want you to come home with a way of living that's going to be productive. Because if you're not part of the problem, you definitely. I mean, if you're not part of the solution, you're definitely not part of it. You know?
Right.
So you have to be part of the solution out here in this world, because we got a lot of sick people out here.
Absolutely.
You know, and they walk around don't think they're sick.
Well, as an old term we used to use, zombies.
Exactly.
Mental zombies.
Exactly.
You know.
So we have to add to that and come out here and try to put in work to try to help them that's suffering from a disease they don't believe they have.
And just to further reiterate on what you initially said, Wendell, let's clarify to the viewers that the term rehabilitation is truly a misnomer.
Sure.
You know, there's no, you know, that's something that's, as you said, the prison is not designed to address. Now, for those that's been blessed with insight and comprehension and, you know, somehow we've developed into personal development and coming out here as examples of what it should be, but that's a small percentage.
Sure.
You know, so, you know, when you look at overall, because I have people oftentimes question me, well, why was you able to do all that? And look at you. You don't even look like you've been to prison. You don't talk, you know, but I tell them, I said, don't think automatic because your son or nephew or niece or whoever fall into the belly of the beast that it's going to automatically correct them.
Right.
It's not designed. It's
not
purely punitive.
That's right.
So I just wanted the audience to at least, you know, get that take on
Yeah,
it.
it's not designed. You have to go in there and you have to be willing to change yourself. You know, people want to change, but they don't know how to change. You know, if you give a person an opportunity and something to work with to change themselves, more likely they will change themselves.
Yes.
You know, so you, how many prisons did you frequent?
When do I believe, starting from Chino Reception Center, Folsom State Prison, Soledad, Correctional Institute, Vacaville, Richard J. Donovan, Rock Mountain, San Diego,
You somewhat done
San Quentin.
You somewhat did the circuit.
Yeah, so I did the circuit. San Quentin, Solano, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, we look at going into the system one way because I put it like this: we were in a cesspool coming from society, and then we got sent to hell going into prison because it was hell. I mean, straight hell. We experienced some stuff that we'd never experienced.
Never experienced, yes.
Right? We went into the hole. We experienced that's a world within itself, and we came back out to the prison system. We started doing time, and then the light clicked on. So wait a minute, man, I got to do something better, you know. So then we got kicked out of the hell, like Job got kicked out of hell back to society. Now what you gonna do with your life now? So you come back to society, and you have an opportunity because your tool bag is full.
Yes.
You loaded it up. So you come back to society with tools, and you immediately went to work.
Went immediately. I mean, it wasn't even no question. And I used to have a saying I used to use among my peers in prison that, you know, at this point in my life, they can parole me anywhere. And we used to often say the Sahara Desert, you know, we would think of these foreign names to associate with that, right? And we said, man, they can, you know, you can parole me to the, you know, the Sahara Desert. You know, it don't make no difference, you know. I'm gonna be successful. Because that was at the degree of confidence, as you said, we had developed from loading our tool box up. You know, and that's how it unfolded for me. You know, I didn't have no question about number one, not going back. Certainly, I don't control total outcome. No human being does. Certain things could be introduced to you by way of universal or cosmic or divine forces, however you choose to prefer to it. But you just have to be prepared. And the question is, when it do presents itself, how do you respond and deal with it? So that's where I was very, very appropriately prepared for. I can accept things coming my way that I might not necessarily want to come my way, but I know I had a strong enough understanding about I was no longer going to, you know, respond to things from that emotional standpoint, from that egotistical standpoint, you know, that can often drive us to, you know, do things that normally don't make sense. So I was prepared, and 6.5 years later, you know, I'm sitting on the success, and it's still unfolding. You know, I'm not nearly close to being done.
That's right.
You know, but given the opportunities, the obstacles that was presented, you know, I fared fairly well, you know, and gains and accomplishments.
Well, you know, we have goals in life. Coming home from prison, while we in there, we dream big. You know, some people we dream real big, because if you can dream something, you can make it a reality. You can make it happen. You know, if you can think something, you can certainly make it happen. You see, so the dreams that we dreamed inside, we brought home, and we are able to make them come to full circle. You come home, you got an outstanding job. You know, you've been home, what, 8 years now?
No, 6.5.
6.5 years.
Yeah, working on the back end of 7.
Okay. And you're doing outstanding. So we say success stories. This is a success stories because it's the point now where, see, you can go back. You can go back in the lives that you left behind, the people that you left behind, the drama you left behind. You can go back and you can be an assistant to them changing theirs, because they can say, if he do it, why can't I do it? It can be done. You can go back in and say, hey, you can do it. Just go in there and telling people what they want to hear. They go in there faking,
Yes.
tell them what they want to hear.
But actually, and that is being, put into process now. Actually, initially last week, I was supposed to go back in to San Quentin under the representing the VA to the veterans groups they have there. But something came up and it got postponed.
Okay.
Since I went into Solano State Prison on the resource fair, and like you said, just to have lifers and people that may have knew you, staff, to see you walk in,
Right.
well presented.
Right.
You representing a governmental agency, and these people's like,
He was there.
he
with
was
us.
here across on the yard.
Right.
Are you such that was?
Yeah.
Didn't you just leave a few
Yeah,
years?
yeah,
That's me.
yeah.
Oh, and they
Yeah.
they're inquisitive.
It
They
can be
baffled.
Right, it can be done.
Perplexed.
Yeah, it can be done.
But then you sit down and tell them, when you get a moment to, work the workshops with them, it's all about your goals and your principles.
Sure.
If you go out here, determined, yes, I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. It wasn't easy for
No,
me.
it's not easy.
But then again, life is not easy
Right.
once we understand that. But if you apply and stick with your, the things, the gains you made and work from a degree of understanding, man, you can overcome anything.
Sure you can.
You can
Sure
get
you
to
can.
where you want to get.
Sure you can.
You
I tell people that, see, inside those walls, those gates, we're given a small arena, right? But when we release from that small arena, we come out to this world, and you can start at San Francisco International Airport. You can go all around the world and come back to San Francisco International Airport. Because at one time they said it was flat, but they lied, it's round. You can go all the way around the world. So you got a big arena. You can do anything you want to do in this country that you want to do. We got a black president.
Yes.
So we got a black president, phew, man.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
As I, and one of the mantras I use is, the more you expose yourself, the more opportunity you possibly create for
That's
yourself.
right. That's right. That's
But
right.
you have to, even in that limited environment, being incarcerated, books, information, those type of resources increase my awareness.
Sure.
So therefore, it gave me the possibility to be more productive once I was out here because of having gained understanding. I might not have had certain experiences prior to that, but sitting down researching or meeting a cat that was walking the same yard with me, but his experience was totally different. He may have come from, the public arena. He may have been a member of the Fortune 500, but whatever brought him there.
Right.
I used to make it my purpose to meet people like that.
Right.
Because I wasn't exposed to that.
Exactly.
And the things they would share with me increased my awareness
Exactly. Yeah.
about, you didn't do this, but,
Right.
here's, read this, study this. Let's
Exactly.
talk about it. Let's walk the track and discuss some things.
Exactly.
Let me run some stuff by you may not be aware of.
Right.
So any way of seeking out information, man, expanding your awareness, regardless where you at, that's one of the keys to being successful.
Exactly. They have something that we need.
Yes.
So I mean, to walk around the track 2 or 3 times, it may pay off. It may pay off. It may not, but we have to go for it because like I said, at one time in our life, the light was off. It was dark. We just did whatever it was on the whim. We just did whatever it was because that was appealing to us.
Yes.
And it wound us. It caused us a long period of time from our life.
Well, and also a lot of things we were just introduced. You have to look at every community, that people are exposed to. They have a tendency sometimes to soak up that environment.
Right.
So
Right.
sometimes we don't necessarily be given the right choices, but at some point we have to learn to make the right choices.
Exactly.
And there lies the rub where, as they said, the rubber meets the road.
Right.
Learning to, in life at some point, to step back, think enough, be quiet enough to think some things through so you can begin to make right choices.
Right.
Wherever you're at, wherever you come from.
Exactly.
I've been all across the country. I done seen all type of hoods. But I also met productive people, positive people, constructive, creative people from everywhere who some of us all came from the same background. Because they learned to make those right choices at some point in their life.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, we have a lot of people coming home, a lot of lifers coming home. Well, just had to talk to the brother last week. He got found suitable. So we got a lot of people come home, women and men, and we have to make a way for them to come home. We had the support group. Matter of fact, tomorrow night we got a support circle, and we invite all returned citizens to come out and take part of the support group, because we want to be surrounded with people that we're familiar with.
Absolutely.
We want to be comfortable with people that we're familiar with. We want to be able to come in and talk and laugh and share stories and have solutions for things that need to be fixed. You know, because coming home from prison, it's difficult.
Very
You
difficult.
know, you get on the bus and you don't know you got somebody standing next to you that you've never seen before. You know, and you got to deal with certain things. So we need to be able to sit in a circle, support circle, and talk about the difficulties
Dialogue
that we have.
and discuss.
Right,
and,
exactly.
you know.
And share some of our positive stuff that we have with somebody that's less fortunate. So that's what we have. And you've been to 3 support circles so
2
far.
so far.
2 so far.
Right.
Right. And we have a good thing, and we want to commend you for the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
Right, because you're helping the vets, you know, and they've been given a raw deal. You know, they've been given a raw deal, but they have a lot of stuff that they're receiving now, opposed when they came home from Vietnam, they got nothing. But they got a lot of stuff that they're receiving now, and it's a good thing that you're doing. You know, so
Thank you
we
very
want to
much.
commend
I
you.
appreciate that.
Yeah, we want to commend
And
you.
just to add to that, and I'm also involved with the juvenile justice system.
Okay.
You know, the veteran piece, because I am a vet that got caught up, went to prison after, you know, doing my tour duty. But also I understand the juvenile component because I was that before I was the veteran. So, you know, I'm involved in going in and speaking and putting down, you know, my theme is what I call community integration.
Okay.
You know, that's one of the models that I take to people. You know, a lot of times I hear people say they want to go in, they want to talk to the youth, and then when I ask them, what do you want to talk to them about?
Right.
Well, you know, I just want them, just because you sat in prison for 15, 20 years, don't validate you to make you knowledgeable or aware enough to go talk to somebody. What is your agenda?
Right.
What is your, you know, what is your takeaway with them? Because if you just go in there talking the same stuff that their uncle talked to them about, their brothers talked to them about,
that's not it.
maybe their mother, they're not hearing that.
That's not it.
So I developed, my core piece is community integration and transitioning. And what do that look like to you, you know, or to anyone, whether you're doing 6 months in a juvenile facility, getting ready to go back home, or whether you're a lifer coming out after doing 26 or 30 years.
Right.
What do that piece look like? And then you truly understand how to navigate and make it work for you, because it's different for everyone. But it's certainly, if you don't understand it, you'll just be another number caught up in the burrow coming out here, bumping your heads, trying to find your way. You know, so I do that also, and I'm also, as we speak right now, formulating, putting together a pilot program that should be successful, and we're gonna roll it out in the peninsula, South City on down, you know, the San Mateo County area, Daly City, East Palo Alto. But that's just some of the things I do. I consider myself, Wendell, a service provider now.
Okay.
You know, in terms of giving back to the returned citizen, you know, the return youth that's coming home, or just not only them, but even educating the people that's closely associated with them.
Well, you're of service. You're serving the people. You're serving the people that can't get it nowhere else. So you're of service. That's what we do now. We're people of service. We're serving the people that's less fortunate, and we know that we know majority of the stuff that they need. You know, we've been there. We've been on both sides of the track. Like I said, we've been in the trenches. Okay, so we come out of the trenches now. We're on both sides of the track, so we live both sides. So we can give the people that's less fortunate than us, and help them come up. And we ain't gonna be like no crab in a bucket. And once they get to the top, we gonna pull them up, and that's what we do today. We are service.
Thank you.
So you're a service provider. That's what you do. You serve the people, you know. And the people that we left behind, we want to be able to allow them to come home. We want them to come home and see that what you're doing, hey man, well, you can do it. Hey lady, you can do it. Anything out here, you can do it. Anything that you want out here, you can be part of, you can make it happen. Because you're back. You made it back. A lot of people ain't coming back.
And also in that process too, as they said, you know, when we provide and do what we do for them, we want to keep it real. We want to let them know there's going to be roadblocks. We're going to we need to sit down when we address with returned citizens of any sort or of any kind. We're going to let them know everything you might reach for might not reach back for you.
Exactly.
But be prepared for that. And what is your contingency plan? Learn to develop and create backup plans.
Right.
Learn to develop that, okay, step away from your emotion. Everything ain't gonna go the way you want.
Right, exactly.
And in doing that, I think you create a more realistic approach to them being out here and their expectations.
Right.
So they don't get disheartened or, and then giving them that platform, someone who understands them and that can sit down and talk to them. I never forget my partner, he wasn't a lifer, but he did 25 years. And he picked me up from Solano. And on the way back, we stopping off. I got, long-term people I was incarcerated with, wanted to see me, wanted to take me shopping. You know how that little piece go.
Sure.
And me and him sitting in a restaurant in Contra Costa, right? And, I'm my first day home. I'm feeling, people looking at me. But actually they weren't.
Right.
But he was able to recognize that because he had parole 6 years before me.
Right.
So he knew exactly what I was going through.
Sure.
And the first thing he said, right now, he said, how are you feeling? I said, oh, it's a little strange. I know people looking at me like I'm. He said, man, don't nobody know you just got out of jail.
That's what they do.
He said, that's in your mind.
Exactly.
He said, that's a natural feeling, though, because you're in a new environment.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And just having that understanding with somebody who went through that.
Yeah.
And that's what we do with
what
returning citizens.
That's what we do.
Giving them that platform. Look, man, you ain't nothing inadequate about you.
Right.
You're not strange.
Right.
But those thoughts going to occur.
Sure.
I understand it.
Sure. Yeah.
Window understand
Sure.
it. We've been through that. We paroled before you.
Right.
Get through the process.
Right, we have to pass it on. We have to pass it on. We have to pass it on.
Yes.
So what I want to do now, I want to give a shout for the sports circle tomorrow night, Wednesday, the 26th of April, here in San Francisco. We have a support circle for return citizens, and we've got a location change. It's 4760 Mission Street. And it's the San Francisco Muslim Community Center on Mission Street, right off from Ocean, right on the other side of Ocean Street, here in San Francisco. And we welcome all formerly incarcerated. Matter of fact, you don't even have to be incarcerated. We want you to come out and take part of this circle because we need the assistance from everybody. It's a village. We are a village. We want to come and associate ourselves with returned citizens. We want to be able to talk to people and find out what their needs are, what some of their goals are, and if we can be some assistance to them to have their transformation back into the community. So the address is 4760 Mission Street, right on this side of Ocean Street in San Francisco. And the time is from 7 to 9. We got a beautiful meal that we're going to serve. You can come out and get full. You can laugh and giggle, have good conversation. Matter of fact, we're going to have the director, founder of Talif Collective Reentry Program, which I work for out of Fremont, California. He'll be there tomorrow, and he'll be able to explain what Talif Collective really is. And our program is a reentry program, and we're here to help anybody that's been in the system or close to the system. That's what we do. So we want to welcome you, and we want to invite you out tomorrow to the support circle supported by Talif Collective. And we want to thank you again, my brother, for coming out tonight.
Thank you for having me.
And we want to invite the viewers to look at you Saturday night on Channel 29.
Channel 29.
29 at 7 o'clock. And if you want to look at them some more, you can go on YouTube and watch them anytime you want to watch them. So in the next hour, this will be on YouTube all over the world. We got people in Europe, we got people in England, we got people in Australia, we got people all over the world watching this station. So you can go on YouTube and watch it many times you want to, put it on your iPad or wherever you want to put it, and look at it and look at DC, and he'll explain to you in detail his life after incarceration. So thank you, my brother.
And thank you. Thank you, Wendell.
All right,
yes, sir.
all right. So you guys have a good evening. The viewers have a good evening. We'll see you Thursday. We have a live show at 6:30, from 6:30 to 7. We have a long-time offender coming on, and we're going to be able to call in and be able to talk to him. He has some very interesting conversation for you. So come on and watch us on Thursday at 6:30, from 6:30 to 7. We want to come in your living rooms and your bedrooms and allow you to come in and be part of this program. That's Thursday at 6:30, prime time, 6:30 to 7. Thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you.